Lesson 1-1, Variables and Exponents. We're going to begin this unit by talking about vocabulary. The first vocabulary word is variables. Variables are symbols used to represent unspecified numbers or values. So, for example, variables that we often see are x, y, a, or b. Be careful using letters that can sometimes be used as numbers, like the letter L can sometimes, how you write it can also look like the number 1. The next term is a term of an expression, maybe a number, a variable, or a product, or quotient of numbers and variables. And we'll talk a little bit more about this in the upcoming slides. So we're going to look at an example of a power. So if we have the example of x to the third power, this whole example is a power. So the whole example is a power. The exponent in this example is the 3, and the base in this example is the x. Both examples below are examples of algebraic expressions. This is because they contain one variable and one mathematical operation. So if we take a look at the first example, we have 5m plus 6. Anytime that we see a variable next to a number, this is written or read as 5 times m. That's what it means when a number is next to a variable. And then you have the plus 6. Anytime we have a variable over another number, this is the same as y divided by 2, because this bar here is a division bar. There are 3 steps involved when writing algebraic expressions. So when we are trying to translate from a verbal expression to an algebraic expression, we first begin with reading the words, we then define a variable, and then we write out the expression to solve. When translating phrases into algebraic expressions, the first step was words, and this is where you describe the situation using only the most important words. So let's take a look at this example. It says $3 more than the cost of a sandwich. So the first thing that's important is the $3, because that's telling us how much of something. More than is telling us the operation, and cost of the sandwich is telling us what we're trying to solve. The second step in translating phrases into algebraic expressions is variables. You must define a variable by choosing a variable that represents the unknown quantity. So back to this example again, we have the $3 and the more than, but then we also have the cost of a sandwich. And what we don't know is the cost of the sandwich. So that's where we need to assign our variable. So in this example, let's make the cost of the sandwich C, just because C, cost. The third step in translating phrases into algebraic expressions is the actual expression. So in this step, you translate your verbal model into an algebraic expression. So we have $3, so we have our 3, more than, which we know is addition, and then the cost of the sandwich, which is C. So when you write that all out, you end up with 3 plus C. There's one property that we're going to take a look at in this unit, and it is substitution property for equality. And this property reads that if 2 quantities are equal, then one quantity can be replaced by another. And what that means is for all numbers a and b, if a equals b, then a may be replaced by b. So the way that you're going to commonly see it is you will see an expression and it's going to ask you to solve, and then it will tell you that e equals 3 or k equals 7. And so what that means is everywhere that you see an E, you're going to replace it with a 3. Everywhere you're going to see a K, you would replace with a 7, and so on and so forth. Pause the video to complete the lesson review. Make sure to show your work to receive credit for this video.